GM just retired the 5.3 and 6.2 V8. Both engines gone. I've spent 20 years under the hood of these trucks, and I've watched GM pay out $300 in warranty claims on the 6.2 alone. Now they're replacing both with two brand new V8s, and one detail buried in the spec sheet tells you exactly why. It's not horsepower. It's something GM quietly changed in the oil. Stick with me. I'll show you what they're hiding and whether the new engines are actually worth your money. 27 years. That's how long the 5.3L V8 has been under the hood of GM trucks. Your dad may have owned one. You may own one right now, and it's gone. GM has confirmed it. The 2027 Silverado and the 2027 Sierra do not get the 5.3L 84 anymore. They don't get the 6.2 L87 either. Both engines are done. In their place, GM is rolling out something brand new. A 5.7L and a 6.6L. Two engines from what GM calls the sixth generation of the small block. That's the family that's been in Chevy trucks since 1954. Only 5 generations came before this one. That tells you how big of a deal this actually is. Now here's the question everybody's asking. Why now? Why kill an engine that's been the backbone of these trucks for almost 3 decades? The answer isn't horsepower. It's not styling. It's money and trust. GM has spent over $1.6 billion across 4 factories to build these new engines. Flint, Michigan. Tonawanda, New York. Saginaw, Michigan. St. Catharines, Ontario. Companies don't spend that kind of money replacing an engine that's working fine. They spend it when the old one is costing them a fortune in warranty claims and costing their customers a fortune in repair bills. And that's exactly what's been happening. I want to show you the numbers because once you see them, you'll understand why GM had no choice. The 6.2 L87 was hit with a recall covering almost 600,000 vehicles. Silverados, Sierras, Tahoes, Suburbans, Yukons, even Cadillac Escalades. 28,000 field reports. 14,000 of those ended in total engine failure. 42 engine fires. 12 people hurt. This wasn't a check engine light. This was engines losing power on the highway, in traffic, with families inside. If you own a Silverado or Sierra with the 5.3 or the 6.2, stick with me here. I'm going to tell you exactly what went wrong, what GM is doing about it, and whether the new engines are actually worth trusting. This is the most important truck engine story of the year, and I've read every page of it so you don't have to. So, what actually broke inside these engines? I dug into the federal recall paperwork, and it comes down to 2 mistakes made at the factory floor. Debris. Sediment left inside the connecting rods and the oil passages of the crankshaft. Metal grit where it should never be. On top of that, the crankshafts themselves were built out of spec. Wrong dimensions, wrong surface finish. Put those 2 problems together and you get bearings that can't get proper oil flow. When a bearing runs dry under load, it doesn't wear out slowly. It grinds itself apart in minutes. Now here's the part that should really bother you. GM already tried to fix this once. Dealers inspect the engine. If it fails, GM replaces it for free. About 3% of these trucks needed a full engine swap, but if the engine passes inspection, the fix is just an oil change. They drain the factory oil, which was 0W20, and they refill it with 0W40. A much thicker oil. That's it. New filter, new oil cap, and an insert for your owner's manual. Read that again. GM's answer to a crankshaft and bearing failure was thicker oil, and here's the kicker. It didn't even work for everyone. In January of 2026, the federal government opened a brand new investigation. 36 owners reported their engine failed again after they already got the recall fix. That investigation is still open right now, so if you own a 2021 to 2024 truck with the 6.2, get the recall done. It's free, and it comes with 10 years or 150,000 miles of extended warranty. But understand, the fix is not a guarantee. Now, the recall is only half the story. There's a second problem, completely separate, that's been quietly building for years. It's a lawsuit filed in federal court in Michigan, and it covers both the 5.3 and the 6.2 going back to around 2014. The complaint is about the lifters in GM's cylinder deactivation system, called Active Fuel Management and Dynamic Fuel Management. These lifters are supposed to shut down some cylinders to save fuel. When they fail, you get ticking, misfires, rough running, and sometimes the engine just quits. I want you to understand how expensive this actually is, because the number surprised me. Owners in the lawsuit report failures anywhere from 32,000 miles to almost 120,000 miles. Repair costs range from $8,000 to over $12,000. That's a lifter and camshaft job, or in bad cases, a full engine replacement. In March of 2026, a federal judge refused to split this case up, which means it's now one large unified lawsuit. GM tried to get it dismissed in June. That motion is still pending. Here's the thing I want you to walk away with. The recall and the lawsuit are two different problems. The recall is about bad bearings and bad crankshafts from the factory. The lawsuit is about the lifters wearing out over time. A lot of people online mix these two together. Don't. Knowing the difference is how you actually understand what you're buying. So now let's talk about what's replacing these engines, because this is where it gets interesting. The new 5.7L and 6.6L are not the old engines bored out big. GM built these from the ground up. Forged pistons, forged connecting rods. That detail matters a lot because forged rods are stronger than the cast rods that were in the recalled engine. They also added a new oiling system built to keep oil pressure steady under heavy load and high heat. And they're running two fuel injection systems at once, port injection and direct injection, working together for better fueling in every situation. There's also something GM did with the engine codes that tells you exactly who they're trying to win back. The new engines carry the codes L76 and L78. Those aren't random. L76 was on a solid lifter 327 cubic inch small block, making 365 horsepower back in the mid-1960s Corvette. L78 was the 375 horsepower 396 big block that built the reputation of the Chevelle and the Nova. GM doesn't dig up codes like that by accident. They're speaking directly to the guy who remembers those trucks and cars from when he was young. Now GM has not released official horsepower numbers. I want to be straight with you on this. There's a rumored figure of around 400 horsepower for the 5.7 and around 475 for the 6.6. Those numbers are not confirmed. GM itself has only said the 6.6 will be, quote, the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in its class. Until GM publishes real numbers, treat anything else as a rumor. I'm not going to sell you a number that might be wrong. Now here's the detail that tells you more about GM's thinking than anything else in this whole story. It's not the horsepower, it's the oil. For 12 years, GM ran 0W20 oil in the 5.3 and the 6.2. Thin oil helps fuel economy numbers on paper. The new Gen 6 engines are factory-filled with 0W30. That's a full grade thicker. And remember what I told you earlier, that GM's fix for the recalled 6.2 was to switch it to 0W40. So, GM went from 20 weight to a factory installed 30 weight on the new engine after using 40 weight as their own emergency repair. That's not a coincidence. That's an admission. Let me explain why this actually matters for your engine in plain terms. The 0W part is about cold starts. That stays the same. So, cold mornings in the winter are no worse than before. The second number, the 20, 30, or 40, is about how thick the oil stays once the engine is hot and working hard. A thicker hot oil film means more protection between the crankshaft and the bearings. Those are the exact parts that failed in the recall. Thicker oil under load is a durability decision, plain and simple. My advice, if you end up with one of these new trucks and you tow heavy, drive in the desert heat, or work the truck hard every day, there's a real case for stepping up to a 0W40 at your own oil changes down the road. GM already proved that oil works on this engine family. It was their own recall fix. Check with your dealer and your warranty paperwork first, but that's the mechanic's logic behind it. So, here's where I land on this. If you own a 6.2 covered under the recall, get it inspected. It's free, and the extended warranty is real value. If you own a 5.3 or 6.2 outside the recall, budget $8,000 to $12,000 lifter failure, and keep an eye on your oil changes. If you're looking at a brand new 2027 with the new 5.7 or the 6.6, understand you're one of the first buyers on an all-new engine family. The engineering changes are real. Forged rods, a new oiling system, thicker oil, and parts brought in-house. Those are the right moves on paper, but the most repeated piece of advice from your own audience, and honestly, mine too, is to give it a year or two before you buy one. Let the first owners find the problems first. GM has not released real horsepower numbers yet, and they have not confirmed whether the deactivation system is truly fixed. The moment those numbers and that answer come out, I'll break it down for you the same way I did today with real numbers and no guessing. 2 V8s retired, 2 replacements that nobody saw coming. If you own one of these trucks, check your engine code and hold on to your service records. They just got more valuable. But GM isn't the only one making big moves right now. Ford has 8 new trucks for 2027. So check out this video where I show you exactly what Ford is building and why Ram and Chevy are about to be left behind.